Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I'm not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I'm going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So we're looking at Quantral, and this is powerful for developers, fast for everybody, and they do have a pre-sale, pink sale coming up. So here we are, and we can see Quantral fair launch, and so they've got an audit and KYC badge. So as far as the audit is concerned, it did pass with issues, a major severity issue on initial asset distribution, according to the audit findings. The KYC, that's just going to be through Pink Sale, and then we can see they've also going to be, they're upcoming, okay? So pre-sale is going to start in just over 12 days and 18 hours from the time you're doing the video, so plenty of time to go ahead and do some information gathering on this one. So as we're catching this one pretty early, so we can see socials. Quantral is developing an API technology that it provides end-to-end liquidity endpoints. Developers, no matter who want to develop DEX or DApp, can use Quantral API for token swap transactions. Quantral sends requests to 6 different liquidity pools at the same time, and this way it finds the most suitable price match and it shows it to the user. Okay, so we can see, looking at this, understanding it's upcoming. The soft cap on this one's only 1 BNB, super low, as I mentioned, before, with other videos where we've talked about, really, really low soft caps. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're launching with a soft cap, of 1 BNB, I mean, if it means that maybe, let's say you only get 3 people that contribute to the pre-sale, you actually have to launch, with them meeting your soft cap, of 1 BNB. So if that's the case, I mean, what are you going to do for 1 BNB, or even 2 BNB, for like marketing? So yeah, that's why I'm always going to go ahead and highlight, these kind of things, at super low, soft caps, for a pre-sale as a concern or red flag. All right, moving forward. We can see here, soft cap again, highlighted at 1 BNB, and the liquidity lockup time, 365 days after the pool ends, and then we can see their token metrics. They've got some unlocked tokens, 2%, so it'd be great if the team comes across the video to highlight, what's going on with those unlocked tokens, but we're going to go ahead and transition on over to the documentation. So we can see here, taking a look at their tokenomics, let's see here. So we got 40% going to pre-sale, 20% to liquidity, 15% to centralized exchange, 9% to staking, 8% to marketing, 4% to strategic partners, and 4% to team tokens. And then the total token supply, not that high, only 100,000 of QUON. That is the ticker for the token. All right, and let's see here. So we're going to go over to the roadmap, and then we can see here the roadmap is going to go all the way to the end of the year. All right, since we are recording this here in January of the new year, 2023. In Q4 that we just ended, we can see everything they already completed because they checked it off. In Q1, we get pre-sale marketing, pre-sale and pink sale. So obviously this is where they're at because, or at least it's coming up. All right, and then PancakeSwap listing, token buyback, CoinMarketCap listing here, and Quantral webinar. So going to Q2, we can see centralized exchange, CertiK audit, dashboard development, airdrop campaign, Web3 wallet prototype, and a hackathon. Okay, and then in Q3, we're looking at mobile app design, new liquidity pool will be added, dashboard release for users, creating a DEX affiliated with Quantral, centralized exchange listing. Again, we don't get any kind of tier, or mention of who the exchange is going to be, token buyback. And in Q4, we get mobile app release, DEX release, wallet release, centralized exchange again, token buyback again, and create mining service. So just keep in mind that's what we're looking at in terms of the roadmap. Heading back on over to the main page, we get a couple of buttons here, start building, and then for the white paper. So it says here, it's the world's fastest DEX connections when it's up your own crypto swap. With this token, you can send requests to 6 different liquidity pools, and this is just all information that was covered again, here in the pre-sale description of the project. So the safest and fastest in the world. So they indicate, that their API sends requests to 6 different liquidity pools to find the best price. They'll be fully compatible with the DEX, DApp, or bot you create. All you have to do is simple integration. On security, they offer high-level security, with its API and secure coding methods. You can review the security measures. And developer experience, the endpoints are 100% safe. According to them, you can integrate it with your own API key. Do not share your API key with anybody. So let's see here. They give you some information here on how to start, get the price, check allowances, and do the swap. and then going over the token metrics, which we've already discussed, as we looked at it here, in their white paper. We can see that the same information is reflected here. And then we get to the roadmap, right? So we've already talked about the roadmap, but one of the things that I do like about this roadmap is the fact that oftentimes when we look at the main page roadmap, when we look at the white paper roadmap, they're not consistent. But this one is consistent on what they have already ticked off. So they've ticked off as far as what's been completed, here in Q4 of 2022. If you go back over to the roadmap here, you can see the same is already checked off, here as well. Okay, so those are the key things that I do like to see, whenever I'm making the comparison between the two. Looking at Q1 and Q2, all right, so we see some of the same information, so we get things already checked off and completed. We also get timelines on this. We don't see anything that indicates, what's currently in progress, what's pending, what's progressing, that kind of thing. And we also don't see anything, at the end of the roadmap as far as whether we're going to get a V2 or anything adding more value to the token for any token holders on this, which I'd like to see, on this project. So we get a standard FAQ, on this, as well, and just based on one question here, and it gives you a button here where you can ask a question. So way to go ahead and contact the team, but you could always go ahead and do that, through their social media channels as well. So you can add your email address to subscribe, and then we just get basically some information here at the footer of the website. So that takes us through, this project, Quantral. And keep in mind, again, they do have a pre-sale that's going to be coming up in just over 12 days and 18 hours from the time you're doing the video. So if this is something you're interested in, keep in mind it's all about doing that information gathering and getting as much information as you can to make an informed, judgment or decision, as you're completing your own evaluation assessment on the project to determine how you want to move forward. Now, keep in mind, we don't advise or encourage you to, invest, on this channel. But again, should you be someone that you feel is, really informed on the project and decide to proceed, always do so from an informed position. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. That's going to do it for me on this one, and you all enjoy the day.